Hi, Serenity Valley Farms is down here in Walling, Tennessee today at Underground Processing with Larry Masters, the owner.
Hello.
And we're picking up meat for 4 pigs that we had processed a couple weeks ago. And gonna take it home and fill our freezers. And I've got one that was custom slaughtered according to the customer's wishes. I had 2 customers, each one had 1/2 done. We have been working with Larry, I'm gonna say since 2017, maybe 2016 we might have brought a batch of chickens down. We started out with chickens, and he was the only USDA processor for chickens that we found at the time. So Larry, how long have you been in business now?
We bought the facility in 2017, and you were one of our first customers in 2018 is when we started. So you were close on that, and we met on the way I was coming back from Knoxville, and
yeah,
you,
we
you
met
and
at that
Bob
Subway.
met at the Subway, and we talked a little bit about the
Yeah.
processing that we would offer you. So yeah, one of our first customers.
Awesome, awesome, and it's been great being able. You know, the drive is not always something that we enjoy. Well, I do enjoy the drive, but it's beautiful. But we come from Eastern time zone to Central time zone, so I'm losing an hour and I'm gaining an hour, but it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get here.
That's in good
You know,
traffic.
it's a long time to drive with live animals, and then to come down and make sure you've got a cool environment for the meat to go back in. Looking over your cut sheets, a lot has changed.
Yes.
I know that the cut sheet is a newer version than what we started with originally.
Right.
And when Bob and I first started coming to you, we knew squat about, you know, so many of the portions of the pig you can get, what, 1 or 2 types of cuts out of it.
Right,
You
like
know,
the-
a Boston butt, what are you going to get out of a Boston butt typically?
That's typically with the Boston butts. We'll cut country style ribs out of those, which is just big chunks of meat, about 2 inches by 2 inches. A lot of people will cut them down into roast. We've made cottage bacon out of those. I don't think you've ever got the cottage bacon
Cottage
yet.
bacon? No, I
So
don't even know
we'll
what
take
that
that
is.
Boston butt, smoke it and cure it, and slice it up, and it's just as good as the bacon that we sell here too.
Really?
Yes. That's on our new cut sheet. So
Is it?
yeah, everything that you can get, anything that you can smoke, we smoke and cure pork chops for people too.
Oh,
So out of the loin cut, you're able to get 4 different pork chops that we'll cut here, the porterhouse all the way down to the rib ends.
okay. Yeah, we've never done the porterhouse because we want those extra,
The
you know, the
tenderloins.
3 separate cuts, and
Yeah.
we want the tenderloins as a separate availability. And then your picnic roast, you typically do, Scott, you've got 3 choices on the cut sheet of whole bone in, whole boneless, or grind it.
Right.
And for the customers, one wanted grind and one wanted whole bone in, but we're getting that split in half, and that's not a problem for you to do, is it?
No, we try to do anything. And if there's something that you don't even see on our cut sheet and you want that type of a cut, we'll do it too. If we don't know how to do it, we're going to figure out how to do
Yeah.
it. And we started doing that with a customer who wanted a special pork cut that they use in competition, and it was a pork collar roast. And we had no idea. This was back when we first started. No idea what a pork collar roast was. We found out what it was and cut it for him. The meat looked really good, and he ended up winning his competition. The winning was on his side because what he did with it. But you know, the cut that we did. We were
Can
able
you
to
show
get.
me on your pig where that pork collar
So
roast
it's
comes
up
from?
up in here.
Up in there?
Yep, it's right around the neck.
We
collar,
have
so-
cooked that like a regular roast in our slow cooker and
Yes.
on the smoker, and oh my goodness,
Yep.
wow, it's good. The collar roast, isn't that used for charcuterie also?
Yep, they'll use it for that. There's different
Yeah.
types of, I mean, some places now, if we ever get into doing that, I'm going to try curing and doing that with every cut of the meat that we get from here. But our most popular things is going to be the bacon and the hams. that we'll smoke and cure those hams.
I agree. Those cures are awesome.
Well, thank you.
Especially your original one. Now I'm seeing on the updated sheet you just gave me, you've got there's 5, 10, 15, about almost 20 new seasonings for different sausages.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And those can be combined with any of the cheeses that we do
Any
too.
of
We've
the
got
cheeses.
6 different cheeses. You can do brats, you can do patties, just about anything that you want. When we're finished with our expansion here, we're going to be getting into fully cooked deli meats also.
You're going to need a second page to your cut sheet for all the notes.
Yeah.
Okay, what else can I ask you about? On the for the natural cure, like the original one that we use the most, it's got your cherry powder and celery juices,
celery
right?
juices,
So
yeah.
that's where they're getting the nitrites and nitrates from, correct?
Right, correct. Yeah,
Okay.
it's still nitrates or nitrites. I'm sorry, but
They're
it's
natural.
not it's a natural one.
It's
Right.
coming from that fruit and vegetable
Yes.
directly, and not from a chemical that
right.
is what you would get at a store.
Right, and some of the, I mean, you can buy it at the stores. It's going to be sold the same way that we label it for you. It's going to say uncured.
Uncured.
Because the USDA does not consider celery juice powder a curing agent.
Right.
So we have to go through this process of getting approved to call it uncured bacon, even though we can't label it as bacon because it's technically not been cured
Cured the proper
the
way.
proper way, right, to the USDA specs. So,
Right, right.
Right, but it's still the same thing. You're still getting the same amount of the nitrates and nitrites from the natural sources. It's just, people feel it's a healthier option for them to do because they want to do it natural instead of man-made.
Do you feel that that's one of your number one cures?
The all natural? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's definitely our number one.
Yes, and I've just added a sugar-free version. It's not going to be on these. I don't have the new pricing sheet, but we're in testing of it right now. So it's a sugar-free cure for bacon and hams also.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that have been asking for sugar-free, and that's why we added 5 of the sausages that are sugar-free too.
You see that, yeah. There's one that's 12 pepper, bratwurst, jalapenos, supreme Italian pizza, and taco.
Yes.
All sugar-free. And then would you ever consider, is there a possibility of having some that come out with no nightshade, like no peppers, no tomato used in it at all? Because that's another thing that some of my customers can't have.
Okay.
Is they're allergic to nightshade products, like nightshade produce.
Right. And that's something, like, if you let us know, I've got a company that we work with that'll blend special seasonings for us, and we've done that on somebody who processes their lamb with us. They created a specific seasoning that we use only on their sausages, and we could definitely do something like that. If it's something that we end up introducing to all of our customers, is it an option for them? There's no charge to do any special thing. The company doesn't even charge us. We just have to buy it in bulk.
In bulk.
In order to, justify it. But they'll take any seasoning. They'll send us samples. They'll let you try it. And once you decide this is what you want, this is exactly the flavor you want, they mass produce it for us.
Good to know.
Yep.
Good to know. Well, I am amazed at the amount of new sausages that we could order coming up. Andouille, Cajun, chorizo. The garlic pepper went like hotcakes.
Yes, that's a very popular one. A lot of people that do the keto diet, they do that because there's no sugar in that one
Yeah.
at all. There's a few. That was the only one that we carried that had no sugar in it, I believe. No, there's a mild Italian. I think
Yeah.
our mild Italian may
I
not
think
have sugar.
at the time we started doing pork, you just had the garlic pepper, Italian, and bratwurst available, and then the mild to medium.
The breakfast, yeah, the breakfast sausages.
Yes.
Those
But,
are real popular, the breakfast.
Well, that's super exciting to see what possibilities we'll have in July now when we
Yes.
bring the next pigs in. So, all right. Well, I've got some meat to pack.
All right. Well, I appreciate
But
you coming down and
we
asking me to talk with you today.
honestly, it's great, and it's such a beautiful day.
A little
I'm
warm.
glad you were here today.
All right.
I haven't seen you in so long.
Yeah, it has been. You got to tell Bob I said hello.
I will.
He
I will,
sent me an email,
definitely.
and I was like, oh, I better get ready.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. So, well, very good. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank
and
you.
we'll let you get back in there.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you, Larry. Take care.
Take care. Too.